You didn't do anything wrong. At least, that's what you keep telling yourself. One day someone was texting you back in seconds, laughing at everything you said, making plans to see you again, and the next, silence. Short replies. A weird distance you can feel but can't explain. If this has ever happened to you, you're not imagining it, and it's not random. There are 3 psychological shifts that happen inside a person's mind right before they pull away from someone, and almost nobody knows about them, because the person doing the pulling away usually doesn't even realize it's happening either. By the end of this video, you'll be able to spot these shifts before they cost you a friendship, a relationship, or a connection you actually cared about. The first shift is called hedonic adaptation. Your brain is wired to get excited about new things and then, without meaning to, stop noticing them. This is why a new phone feels thrilling for 2 weeks and then just becomes your phone. The exact same thing happens with people. When someone is new in your life, your brain floods with dopamine every time you interact, texting, learning about them, discovering shared interests. But dopamine isn't triggered by familiarity. It's triggered by the unknown. Once a person becomes predictable, the brain quietly stops rewarding the interaction the way it used to, and the person can feel their own interest fading without understanding why. Think about a couple who used to talk for hours every night, and now runs out of things to say after 10 minutes. Not because they stopped caring, but because there's nothing left to discover. Or 2 coworkers who hit it off instantly during a project, texting constantly for weeks. Once the project ends and the novelty of getting to know someone new wears off, the texts slow down for no clear reason. To keep someone's dopamine response alive, you have to keep giving their brain new information to process. Share new experiences instead of just repeating old routines. Bring up new ideas. Ask questions you've never asked before. Introduce them to something they don't know about you yet. Predictability is comfortable, but comfort alone doesn't sustain attraction or interest. Novelty does. And if you notice someone's interest starting to fade, resist the urge to cling tighter or ask for reassurance. That makes you more predictable, not less. Instead, get interesting again. Pick up something new, change your routine, let them see an unfamiliar side of you. The second shift comes from equity theory. People don't just track how much they like someone. They unconsciously track how balanced the relationship feels. Equity theory says humans constantly, automatically calculate the ratio of what they're putting in versus what they're getting back. When one person is always the one texting first, always the one planning, always the one making the effort, the other person's brain quietly recalibrates the relationship as low cost, meaning it requires nothing from them to keep it. And things that require nothing from us are things we value less, even if we don't consciously decide to. Picture a friend group where one person always organizes the hangouts. Over time, the others show up less and less, not because they dislike the person, but because they were never given a chance to invest anything themselves. Or a new relationship where one partner does all the emotional labor, checking in, initiating conversations, planning dates. The other partner starts feeling strangely less attached, even though objectively they're getting more attention. Balance isn't about keeping score out loud. It's about making sure both people are consistently investing. If you've noticed you're the one always reaching out, pull back slightly and let the other person close the gap. If you want someone to value you more, don't give more, let them contribute too. And if you feel yourself pulling away from someone who's always doing everything for you, that's a signal worth paying attention to before you act on it. Ask yourself if the distance is really about them, or about a subconscious pattern where effortless things start to feel worthless. Sometimes reinvesting a little yourself resets the whole dynamic. The third shift is called self-verification theory. People don't just want to be liked. They want to be seen accurately, even when the accurate version of them isn't flattering. Self-verification theory shows that when someone consistently sees us in a way that clashes with how we see ourselves, it creates deep discomfort, even if the mismatch view is more positive. If someone starts idealizing you, treating you as more perfect or more together than you feel inside, a strange thing happens. Instead of feeling good, they start to withdraw because the pressure to keep matching an image that isn't fully true becomes exhausting. Imagine a new employee who's praised constantly by their manager as the best hire they've had in years. Instead of feeling motivated, they start avoiding the manager, overwhelmed by the pressure of never being able to make a mistake. Or someone in a new relationship who's told repeatedly, "You're so perfect, you never get upset about anything." Rather than feeling flattered, they start pulling away because the pressure of maintaining that image feels suffocating. If you want to keep someone close, don't just praise them, see them. Acknowledge their flaws, their bad days, their contradictions, without judgment. People stay close to those who make them feel safe being fully human, not just impressive. And if you notice yourself pulling away from someone who seems to only see a polished version of you, consider being more honest with them before you disappear. Often, just saying, "I'm not actually as put together as you think," repairs the disconnect instantly, because it lets the other person finally see the real you, which is who they were drawn to in the first place. So to recap, people don't usually stop liking you out of nowhere. It's almost always one of three invisible shifts. Their brain stopped getting rewarded by novelty. The relationship quietly became unbalanced, or they started feeling the pressure of an image they couldn't keep living up to. None of these means something is wrong with you. They mean something predictable is happening in the brain of the person pulling away, and now you know how to spot it. Which one of these has happened to you? Drop a comment and tell me which trick hit closest to home. I read every single one. And if you want to understand the flip side of this, the exact psychological triggers that make someone become obsessed with you instead, that video is coming up next, so make sure you're subscribed before you go.